Hi folks, Mythical DM here. First and foremost, I want to thank the overwhelming support from the community over the past couple of weeks. My little channel has grown from 360 subscribers to over 5,700 subscribers. Your support means a ton to me, so thank you all again. Now, if you're not a subscriber, you can always click that sub link and hit the bell for notifications. And hey, if you like the content, hit that like button, comment below, or even just leave your favorite emoji for the engagement with the YouTube algorithm. So let's get on with the topic for today, shall we? The past few months, while I was taking a break, Wizards of the Coast had a lot of executive shakeups. Now, there were 2 fired or resigned, and there was another big promotion. So let's take a look at these folks. Now, I think the biggest thing that happened was the ousting of Cynthia Williams, the former CEO and president of Wizards. Now, this one was inevitably very honest. Cynthia moved to Wizards of the Coast after a stint at Microsoft as the general manager of Microsoft gaming ecosystem commercial team. She played a significant role over there in the expansion of the Xbox Game Pass, and it contributed to the service's growth and increased subscriber base. So when she became the CEO of WotC, under her leadership, Wizards of the Coast increased its focus on digital gaming, including development and enhancement of digital versions of popular games such as Magic the Gathering Arena and, of course, Dungeons and Dragons Beyond, D&D Beyond. Now, her tenure saw significant revenue growth for Wizards of the Coast, particularly driven by the digital sales and the success of Magic the Gathering and, of course, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, remember that she came on as Wizards of the Coast was seeing an insane increase in popularity due to social media events such as, Stranger Things and Critical Role, plus a ton of YouTubers getting in on 5th edition and pouring in a ton of content. So D&D in particular had a huge increase in popularity with the COVID-19 pandemic, forcing us to stay indoors or be socially distanced for the most of 2020 and 2021. So she did not really have to do a ton to get the sales numbers up, to be honest. She was already riding a wave. Now, of course, she was the key to the most notable controversies during her tenure relating to the Open Game License, or OGL, for Dungeons and Dragons. The proposed changes to the OGL were met with a ton of backlash from the community, leading to an absolute PR crisis and subsequent retraction of those changes and moving Dungeons and Dragons into the Creative Commons. Now, canceling D&D Beyond subs did take a bite out of Wizards of the Coast bottom line, and there were more missteps under her tenure, such as the Pinkertons' heavy-handed tactics with a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, the AI in Big B's Presents Glory of the Giants, and then again, more AI art was used for promotional material after they said that they weren't going to be using any more AI for anything. And I've covered all of these topics on my channel. Some of her strategies aimed at increasing the monetization, such as, increased focus on microtransactions and premium content, and they were really criticized by the gaming community at large. Hi. So during an earnings call in 2022, right before the OGL debacle, she said that the game was under-monetized and viewed players more as walking wallets. Now, what she did manage to do, to give her some credit, absolutely, because she is an operations style manager, is she did rein in the operation expenses with the removal of Random House as their D&D distributor, taking that in-house, which allowed them to increase the profits because they were no longer paying someone to distribute it for them. They were using their already existing distribution lanes. And she also had a massive reduction in stock levels in their warehouse. I believe it was somewhere around 50% or 57% or something like that. For those that have ever worked in retail, you know that having too much stock is just as bad as having no stock. Things that sit on the shelf for years end up costing you money because you don't have the space to bring in items that do sell. But these improvements could not overshadow the absolute devastation that the OGL debacle caused. Then there were the mass layoffs in December of 2023 at Hasbro, which gutted the team at Wizards of the Coast who were trying to create the new books. It's no wonder that she was turfed after the Q1 report of earnings. I just hope that the next CEO has a passion for the game and not just raising corporate products. Hey, WotC, I have 25 years of business experience. Call me. We can talk. I won't even need the $6.6 million compensation package that Cynthia was paid. Now that leads up to the news a couple weeks ago of the quiet exit of Kyle Brink, former executive producer of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, whether he was fired with an NDA and a severance or resigned is all speculation. But with the new appointment of Jess Lanzillo to VP of Franchise and Product for D&D in late June, I kind of suspect the former happened with Kyle, but We'll talk about Jess in a bit. Kyle was infamously known as the face of the OGL debacle, as he was the one who had to do the explanation tour on YouTube and speak with content creators and other media. So when something came out officially regarding the OGL, it had Kyle's name stamped onto it. Now, he was also famous for an interview where the interviewers pressed Kyle that the higher ups at Wizards of the Coast are almost all cis white men, to which he responded that diverse hiring at WotC was improving and that he recognized the need for more diversity at the executive level, saying, "Guys like me can't leave soon enough." So this quote went viral, at least within our little RPG sphere. And I've seen people misquoting him, saying that he said straight white men can't leave the hobby soon enough. And even when he's quoted correctly, people are still acting like, you know, the intention behind his statement was that everyone has to leave that looks like me, because I look like him too, has to leave the hobby, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, it's very obvious that he's talking about bringing in more diversity into the upper management of Wizards, not saying that straight white men shouldn't be part of our hobby. Now, the level of outcry about this quote is just ridiculously insane. Hi, why are you meowing, bud? Sorry, I gotta get a cat in here. Oh, please don't step on there. All right, off we go. But no matter what, he did get his wish of having less guys that look like him in the corporate ecosystem, and it was granted by the Wizards genie. I'm not going to get into the weeds about his character or his involvement with the OGL debacle. I've done enough videos on it on my channel. But it seems that his replacement, Jess Lanzillo, actually plays Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. It was kind of how she was recruited by Wizards of the Coast several years back, just playing MTG at the game store in Seattle, and she played against several of the folks from WotC, and they ended up hiring her on, which is cool. And a lot of us nerds dream of that sort of scenario. Now, she did an interview with Adweek, and she seems to be genuinely excited for the new books and her new position. I'll link that interview below. She is one of the execs that I hope does try to put the game before profits, but we all know that the corporate greed of Hasbro and the investors will always lean towards ensuring dividend payouts and the bottom line. Give me the cash! So I do sincerely wish her the best of luck. And that's really what Wizards of the Coast needs to be doing to salvage any hope of rebuilding trust and goodwill with the community it gutted with that scandal after scandal after scandal last year.
You suck, you jackass.
Now, for those still rooting for WotC, all you can do is hope that the new CEO, who they have not named or replaced yet as far as I can tell, has actual gameplay experience and a passion for both D&D and Magic the Gathering, or it will just continue to see its market share eroded by games like DC20, MCDM, Daggerheart, Paizo, and many, many others. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. Competition drives innovation. It can also drive desperation. And we'll have to see in a few months what the VTT shapes up as. We'll have to watch and see what happens with the gutting of the book design team. No executive director of D&D, and still no announcement of a replacement for Cynthia Williams. I think we'll see WotC leaning more towards strictly digital offerings of books, adventures, etc. I do think major books such as Atasha's or Xanthar's Guide will still see print, but the adventures will likely be D&D Beyond focused or even just exclusive to their VTT. I guess only time will tell. Well, that's it for me today, and I'll see all of you in the next video. If you're enjoying my content and want to see more, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, or ring that bell for notifications, and leave a comment below about what you see as a possible path for WotC, or how could they regain your goodwill, or what system have you moved on to, or have you even played 5th edition, or just leave your favorite emoji and hit that share. Perhaps join my Patreon or hit the YouTube membership. Both provide exclusive channels in my Discord along with other perks. But in the meantime, between time, may all your games be full of myth, mirth, and magic. Bye for now.